Hello everyone, so this is Jason Cavness, my Livestream series. I have another guest today, Alex. Alex, quickly introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm right now I'm in Ho Chi Minh City, and I personally have been doing and working in high-tech security business, and now I have my own shop and my own consultancy in security solutions, as well as I'm also a distributor of this amazing product from Ukraine. It's called HX Systems. Right now they're one of the top alarm manufacturer and generally IoT provider in the world. So hello everyone.
So this is an example how small the world is. So I connected with Alex recently, he set up this meeting, and then I looked on his LinkedIn today, and he actually graduated from the University of Washington, Seattle, and I'm in the Seattle area, right? It's just amazing how small the world is.
Yeah, it's a great time. I did my studies in Seattle starting in 2009, it's a wonderful time. I spent there up until 2013. I stayed mostly in the Seattle downtown area as well as in the U District for sure. I do miss Seattle. I think it's a great city in terms of the nature combination. You have sea, you have mountains, you have forest, and then people pretty much are laid back and very diverse community. So
talk about this. Like in Seattle, we have rotation or rain all the time, but I'm here in the rainy season. Here it really fucking rains here, right? Can you talk about that? The difference in the rain?
Yeah. So I think it only rains when I put on my white sneakers. So that's what I noticed. Like every time I put on my white sneakers, there's gonna be raining. Otherwise, I think the rain in Seattle could be annoying because it can last the whole day. Mm-hmm. But it's just like a showers, a small one. It's actually not too bad. I see most of the people could handle it with mostly with a hoodie or maybe some kind of water resistant sweater. So it's not too bad. For me, it wasn't too bad. I don't think it was a big problem for me. I think what was the more annoying thing was the wind. So it could be very. It actually, I say the temperature might not be very low. It's not very cool until the wind starts blowing. So when the wind starts blowing, you can't escape it. You need a jacket, because in the weather can change 3 times in a day. In the morning it could be cool. In the noontime, I remember there was a day it was already hot, and then when it gets to 3-4 p.m. it's the wind is blowing, so temperature drops, and then you need a jacket. And it's good that in the US you have very good returning policy, so you can grab a jacket anywhere and then return it the next week or something. So it actually worked.
So why the University of Washington, of all the colleges you could went to, why that one?
Well, why Seattle?
Yeah.
So Seattle, the Washington State had this program that allowed students without complete high school degree overseas to come to Washington and do a dual program. So technically I started in Seattle Central Community College because they had they call the program as fast track program. So technically during the first 2 years you will get an associate degree, and you also will get high school diploma from the US. So that's what I did. So I also had my what is the test? What is the graduation test in the US?
GED?
GED? Yeah, I think it's GED, yeah. I also had, so besides getting the fulfilling all my requirements in terms of the courses for my 2-year associate degree, I had to take the GED and do some 2 history courses about US history courses. And that I got my associate degree and the high school diploma. And of course during that period of time I had to take a test for University of Washington. So I had some few options to move. I got accepted by a few other schools back then. I think one of them was University of Pittsburgh. Another one is University of Wisconsin-Madison, which I really considered going. But then I realized that if I stay in the state, all my credits gonna be transferred without losing any of them. and University of Washington is a great school. So
yeah, it's
and
very
I
top
actually,
notch.
and I was applying to the business school. If anybody wanted to transfer from a 2-year college to a full 4-year college, like University of Washington, and going straight into the business school there, you had to take a additional test. So not just application and your grades are considered, but you had to take the test. So I took the test and I passed it, and yeah, why not? Just stayed in Seattle, and UW has a great campus. Like, it's huge, it's beautiful,
Yes.
and Seattle is a beautiful city, and the surrounding area is very nice as well. Although, like, for me, like, more like an international student without having, international student is not the reason why I didn't get a car, but technically most of the international students don't have that habit of getting a car. So, and the public transport in the US in general, besides New York and maybe San Francisco, is not that great. So for me specifically, it required a lot of time to move around. Mm-hmm. So that was the only inconvenience. Otherwise, if I had a car, moving between places would be great, because I had my very good Ukrainian friends in Kent, and to take a bus to Kent, it takes like almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
to get there.
it's on like, it's not. It's
like
ridiculous.
2 hours. I had to change multiple buses, and but on a car is like what, 35-40 minutes.
Yeah,
so really quick.
Yeah.
So if I had a car, I think I would have enjoyed better.
And your current company is called Guard.
Guard.vn. So it's actually like the full name, because to kind of specialize that it's for Vietnam market. So the Guard.vn initially started as a distributor of Ajax systems, and just like I introduced, that Ajax Systems is a Ukrainian tech company focused on security. They build all this security sensors, and right now, like, their solution.
And this is like residential, commercial, or both? It's
both. So residentials, also for industrial as well, and for commercial. Right now, like, their line of product is very broad. It comes from like intrusion alarm systems, automation. For example, like, if alarm goes off, then what's going to happen? So you could turn on the light, or turn off the light, turns on the fog machine to blind the intruder, or you can also it can automatically open the gates or whatever. Like, the limitation is only your imagination. Like, you can do technically anything. And the special thing that helped Ajax to be dominating in Europe is they have this proprietary wireless technology that can connect up to 2,000 meters. Unfortunately, I'm not very good in American metrics, but it's a very long distance that can give hassle-free for the installers to install like different equipments, different sensors. For example, you can see that sensor on my wall. It is completely running on battery, has 3 years of battery life. It can detect and it can take images as well. And it's super easy to install. You just screw it into the wall, and that's it, and good to go. So we are like the sole distributor of Ajax in Vietnam. The reason we want to bring like a quality product and for the Vietnamese households, as well as for the businesses, as well as industrial, and also to up the level of security in general, because so far, like, security actually is a luxury product. Sometimes people don't think about it as luxury, but it turns out, because it's the thing that families and people will think almost at the end, because if, like, for Americans, maybe it's already very common, because American families in general, they already have food on the table, they have good clothing, they have access to, you can argue it, but do have access to a decent medical services.
Yeah, some people might disagree with that in America. Some people might disagree with that, yeah.
Yeah, so.
But in general, yes, it's okay.
In general, yes, and then you can have a car, you can get very cheap entertainment electronics for your house from Best Buy and from Amazon, like everything is there. And then you start thinking, okay, I want to secure this this cave of mine, right? Like you secure this house, secure my family, and technically it's the last thing that you think about it. But it's so common there, so you kind of automatically think about it. Here in Vietnam, very developing country, people are only now starting to have a more enjoyable life to live, and that's the first thing they think about. So even the new houses, when they renovate or they completely build it from scratch, the first thing they think about, oh, I want to have like very beautiful living room, so I will spend all my money on the lighting or on the let's say on the stone wall or stuff like that, to kind of show off or to show the wealth. Not necessarily show the wealth, but to please their eyes and to please their daily feelings of having a pretty house. And only then at the end, like whatever they're left with, they were like, okay, maybe I'll put some cameras on. And then when I put some cameras on, okay, which one are the cheapest and who is the cheapest provider, you know? And that was like 10, 15 years ago. Gradually, they realized that having a cheap camera or having a cheap provider, unreliable provider, not only like your cameras can leak the videos out, the cheap provider can just go out of business in few months or in few years. He's no longer contactable, so he cannot come and do some fixings for you for the cameras, and then you need to look for another provider, and then another provider usually comes like, okay, they will come up with a story that this camera is too old and whatever, like let's do something new. And then technically, although the initial cost of investing in the cheap security solution from a cheap provider might be a no-brainer because it's so cheap, but eventually it gives you inconvenience, inconsistency, and it can even create some chaos or unfortunate situations for your home. And you technically, you don't want some disruption to your home or to your business, because technically it will bring more costs, more expenses to your life. And it's the mindset, but we are here to also educate and also to create the use cases which we will use to promote and show to the people that it's worth it to invest in a good solution, quality product from a reputable provider, and your service and your satisfaction is gonna can be lasting for a decade, for 7-10 years. And we are always here to support our clients to have trying to be having a seamless and troubleless experience. And there are good movements. I would say that there is a shift happening in that direction. First of all, of course, thanks to the growth that Vietnam has been experiencing, and more people have better finances, so they could afford a better product. Second is also the mindset, because okay, they're already settled, they have a family, they have a house full of comfort which they don't want to lose, and now they're thinking about, okay, I want to have some proper solution. And then with the advance of AI, everybody now knows that a camera from not a very trustworthy provider or brand can be a leverage. So it can record, it can listen to you. If 10-15 years ago, you will need an army of people to kind of spy on you, to understand what conversation is going on in the house, to actually determine who are you, or pinpoint like at which location what the owner does, like in what industry, or maybe he's a government official, you know. It would have been really hard to do it back then, but now with AI, it can just listen to your conversation and quickly summarize it, and can tell, okay, this person in this building is a government official. See, and then it can pinpoint on the map, okay, these locations, you will have people related, let's say like government officials or agent living in this location. So it actually, you are getting exposed. You know?
How do you ensure people that no one can hack the camera?
So it's without actually knowing about or understanding how network works and how settings, or even like how each of the, let's say like components work in the device. It's really hard to actually show them that it's unhackable because of okay, whatever, somebody so smart they can hack it. I think it goes back to who is standing behind the product. So the brand, where they're from, do they have validation from the very strict markets, let's say European markets. For example, in Europe, you have the strictest laws about privacy. GDPR is a very strict law about like customer privacy when they're using all those kind of recording devices. And when you have a brand that is standing behind it, giving that assurance, and they are also located in the countries in which the law is executable. It's very important because, for example, let's talk about Ajax. For example, they are from Ukraine. Ukraine, it's still a small developing country, which need business elsewhere, right? So technically, why would they? They will have to obey the international law. They to have their product going everywhere in the world. So they really have to invest in ensuring what they market is the truth, and they also validate it by the European agencies that their product is up to the standards and up to what their marketing says, and that helps. But if you think about some product coming from a very big country that, let's say, that country gives them enough business to survive, so even if they're getting blacklisted from the rest of the world, they can still survive, you know. And can you sue them if it's if they have, let's say, the international laws do not apply to the country, so you cannot execute, then maybe those brands are not suitable for certain location, for certain use cases. So maybe for like a small clothing shop, it doesn't matter. Like whoever can listen, whoever can see, it's not a big problem. And then okay, you can put on like very cost-effective cameras. Like I have nothing against that. But when you want to ensure up to 99% or 100% that you are protected and your privacy is respected, then maybe you have to upgrade your product to something up to the standards.
So this is I think I told you this is my third time in Vietnam. There's like so much tech innovation, tech stuff going on here. But most people in America don't realize that. Like most people in America don't see Vietnam as like a tech hub or startup hub. Can you talk about some of that, the other innovation, other tech stuff going on here in Vietnam?
Yeah, so to be honest, what you see, I think regarding the innovations here that you can like see on the daily lives, I think one of the things that is clear to you is, let's say, all this like car sharing services, right? Like food deliveries, and maybe even some mobile payments, right? Like you can scan the QR code and to make a payment. I think so, but if you look closely, a lot of these services are being provided by foreign companies. So the biggest provider for internet taxi is Grab, which is a Singaporean company.
I didn't know that. I thought it was a Vietnam company, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, so
okay.
Grab is a Singaporean company, which they actually started a bit later than Uber. But then Uber, I think in 2017 or 18, they sold their Southeast Asia division to Grab.
Okay.
So technically, they sold it to Grab, but Grab just turned off like Uber app in here. So technically, so they dominated the market for a while. But then you have some only not kind of recently, more recent. They had some local apps like B Group. B Group is sponsored by VP Bank. It's a bank in Vietnam. So they are kind of trying to grab the market. And now, of course, maybe you heard about the Green SM. Sun SM is a subsidiary of VinFast, so it's like in their ecosystem. So that's a bit different story, but they do disrupting somewhat this like kind of ride-hailing market. But so far like ride-hailing is not that innovative anymore. It's been like around, but it's a convenience that you cannot ignore. That is also happening in Vietnam. I think we have to admit that the Vietnamese government gave some freedom to incorporate these technologies into the daily lives for the citizens and for the Vietnam in general. Regarding so I'm talking about like that. That's like some modern things that you see, and it gives you feeling of a very like a modern and dynamic and a fast-growing country. But if you look into closely, maybe everything is not too bright. There's always some difficulties and some nuances that you need to take into account. So I would say the market in Vietnam is 100 million people. It's like it might sound a lot, but if you look at the purchasing power, you have to admit that it could be better. It could have been better, and that I think that also limits in which industries it makes more sense to invest than like let's say like American market is so big you can invest almost in any industry, although there's still waves, like when there's something more trending it's easier. But here technically it's, I would say like I wouldn't invest in, let's say, a startup that is doing that claims to do innovative battery technology. Okay, because they're gonna be dominated by the big players. Like the car, whatever, the EV is gonna win in this market, and for sure it's not gonna be like maybe even fast, but still there's you as a small startup, you cannot, especially in Vietnam, you can compete with big conglomerates. For example, like VinFast right now, they're just doing things themselves. They can hire the best people. They have money. They have infrastructure. They have connections. They have great HR to source the best talents to the company. And for a small market like this, it's going to be really tough to actually successfully launch and sustain such products, such complex product. So I think very high, very ambitious innovations might be more suitable for these like kind of leading countries in the world, because they have market, they have funds, they have know-how, and they have also maybe the right laws and subsidies, right?
So what's the goal for your company?
We are here for more like providing the service. So like I said that I had extended time doing security projects around the world for Motorola Solutions eventually, because as we started as a company called Vigilant Solutions, which later got acquired by Motorola Solutions in 2018. And with Guard.vn, our goal is to provide quality service and correct consultation, and of course the ongoing maintenance and support for our existing clients, which I believe for now there is no go-to shop that is known nationwide to provide such service to the people, so the security service. And I believe among all industries, the security industry is the one that values reputation a lot. Because it's not that like you're selling you're selling a TV, a phone. Okay, like you had a shop, Best Buy, let's say. You had a Best Buy for 20 years. Okay, you're kind of reputable about the service, but then you have another shop, let's say Fry's or whatever, and also start selling the same product, maybe a bit cheaper. But then, eventually that product it's a plug and play. It's not about okay, I need to install it correctly. There's like very few services goes along with a TV or goes along with a mobile phone. When you buy a mobile phone, it's technically all responsible. Who is responsible is Apple, for example, or Samsung, right? The Best Buy is not like almost have no involvement in how your phone is going to function, right? But for the security, we have the product, but then every house is different. So when we meet the client, you need to, first of all, you need to understand the nuances, the demands of the client, and understand the nuances to their site, to their house or to their business. And from there, you can pick the right product, you can set it up the right way, and you also have to configure the right settings so the product that your client purchases will function to the max, to have like an optimal operation and the best user experience. So there's a lot of consultations involved. So, and I think in the service area here in Vietnam, there's still a lot of room to grow, because the market, in the service market in general, has been a bit spoiled by the clients, because Vietnamese clients so far haven't been very, they are not very demanding. They don't really know how things should work, and they rely too much on the service provider to consult them how it should work. And when things break down, the client also doesn't really know why it breaks down, and then they also rely on the consultation and the reasonings of the service provider. Oh, it's because of this and that, and they just listen to that, you know. Like, and a lot of times it's not true. So there's no such a transparency, you know, and usually the service providers don't really bear any consequences when they do things incorrectly. And a very popular word here is like anh chị thông cảm. It's like just give me a break, but give me a break. Like, okay, I'm sorry, give me a break. And usually it works. Nobody bears any consequences. So gradually, I think as society develops, the demand, the customer is going to be more demanding, and a quality service provider, especially in security aspects and security industry, I think is very crucial.
Alex, anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
In general, I just say, like, in terms of when you also were talking about like dynamics, I think people here, because they like the comfort and they like things to be modern, because, you know, like, there's a leap. The United States has been developing very quickly back in the 60s, 70s. So it created, people are accustomed to the living standards of back then and how things operate, and they still feel the comfort in that. But here, because Vietnam started only kind of growing faster in 2000s, and the society here were able to kind of starting almost from scratch, like a lot of people moving to completely new houses. So that's why you also have that feeling that things are more modern here, because it's true, because everything is new, right? Everything is so new, so they have to, of course, they will use whatever the newest technology is available at this moment. So it gives that feeling that everything is so modern here, and it's just a natural, you know, it's natural leaps when a country like the United States has been developed so quickly a long time ago. And everything is starting, like, comes to that expiration date, you know, and here it's like everything is so new. So technically, going back to the fact that everything is so modern here, so it's good market for new stuff. It's a great market for something that is, especially for the comfort. That's why we are also moving into a new, not really new industry. It's related. We're moving to the comfort and comfort aspects of the IoT as well. So we are installing smart home for our clients as well, beside the security. So we provide like a smart light switches, smart outlets, electrical sockets, and automation. So the people can have their house automated, smart, and giving them all the comfort that they wish to have in a new house or at home. So yeah, but it's very important also to keep the price range kind of in the acceptable range for the market, because the market is not able to pay for ultra premium products. For example, with GDP per capita in the United States right now is about like $80,000. Let's pick like France is like about 40,000. Australia is like about 40,000. They can easily, I know like for example for Ajax systems in those markets it's like no brainer, like they don't need to even think about it when they buy the product. But here we have to have different approaches, or we will have to utilize the products to the max. We will optimize so we don't overdo, over like install. And also we have different payment options, and this thing is quite dynamic in Vietnam. Vietnam has 26 banks, and there's a lot of options in terms of consumer credit, and also with some of the services like buy now pay later coming from other fintech companies such as PayU or MPOS. Companies can absorb some of the interest rates for the loans that those services will give for the purchase of the client, so they can extend their payments, and that will help them with ease down their finances, the investment. So it's not a big chunk at once, but they can pay it slowly in 24 months. Some of the cost will be bared by us or by the merchant, but it still helps the clients to get the best product, and also help us to also bring and develop and grow in this market.
Alex, thanks for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So that's the end of our live stream today. If you have any Ho Chi Minh City, come check out my refund on launch party on Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Alibi Bar